Hey guys, it's Crow with Church of Wolf's Grove. Today we're going to discuss divination. So, I have a few little things here. I see my camera is not quite what I want, but I think it'll be okay. So let me make one minor adjustment here. Just a smidge. There we go. Okay. That should be fine. I don't yet have the overhead camera, so it's not quite working the way I want to just yet. But okay. So, divination. Many forms of divination. Obviously, for various purposes. So we've got a few things here. We've got tarot cards of various designs, which I'll get to in a second. We have witches' runes, which we'll get to. We have, let me get that. It's kind of a that kind of day. Okay, that's the chart for the witches' ruins. Okay, then we have the famous Ouija board. Ooh, so scary. Okay. Then we have these nifty little things, which we'll get to later. Most of you might know what they are, but some of you won't. And then we have a mystery box. Interesting. Okay, guys, getting back to actual focus here. So, what is divination? Divination is any tool you may use, whether it be a pendulum, tarot cards, Ouija board, witches' ruins, to find somebody or to sometimes locate somebody, give a card reading, find a lost pet or loved one that may have crossed over, passed on, whatever term you want to use. So, let's get into the most famous and easily done tarot cards. I got a bunch here. This is my very first tarot deck. This is the Cosmic deck. It's made in the early 80s, I think like 88 or something like that. Very nice little deck. This one is the Gypsy deck. This was given to me by somebody who's no longer around, and it means a lot to me. This one is called the Witch's deck. Just kind of a different. Yeah. This one is the world's famous, you'll hear this a lot, Great Rider deck. Okay, I'm just going to come over here so it's easier. So, before I do, when you're doing a tarot reading, I should add out, I'm sorry, but anyway, I'll find it here shortly. Every tarot deck, almost every deck you'll see has the death card. Okay, now, I'm going to come over here, it's just easier. The death card. Just showed nice artwork on this too. It's kind of a nice deck to see the artwork on. Okay, the death card. Let me explain the death card to you guys. The death card does not mean that you're going to die, okay? It could be a change in relationship, the ending to a relationship, the ending to a job, the ending to a project. In the reverse, it could mean beginning of something. So, if you're a first-time person getting your tarot cards read, and you're a good practitioner of the craft, before you get started with any tarot deck, I want you to take this card out of the deck. Now, if this is someone's first time looking at a tarot card reading, You know, in a regular card deck, it's the Ace of Spades. It's usually considered a death card. But if you're going to, I want you to take this card, I want you to tell the person, hey, keep in mind, this is the death card. Don't think because you get it, you're going to die. What's around you is going to die. Can it mean that? Well, of course it can. It's the reality of life. But make sure they understand that this card is represent for a lot of things. 9 times out of 10, I'd even take a risk in saying 20% of the time, it does not mean death of a human being or a pet or something like that. It's always the death of a situation, work, relationship, project, thoughts, ideas, that kind of thing. Again, can it mean something that, you know, someone's going to die? Yes, it can. Can it mean that you're going to die or somebody from your family's going to die? Yes, it can. But 9 times out of 10, 20% of the time, not what it means. Okay, in tarot decks, get from the book here, hold on. Some tarot decks, I'm just going to put that back in there. I'm just going to hide that in there because no one sees death card. Okay, anyway. Some tarot decks, I'm just going to use some other cards here. I'm just going to pull out 2 random cards. Or 2 top random cards, where they might be. The Sun and the 5 of Cups. Okay. So, again, I'm showing off the art because I like this deck. It's really cool. The art deck is very well designed. Now, in some tarot decks, this is the 5 of Cups. This is the Sun. Again, just nicely done. Well done work. In this particular deck, you're going to have reverse cards. Okay? What that means in that deck is that that particular deck has reversed meanings for that particular card. So if you look at your little book, and this is, we'll get to how to do this in a little bit here, but if you look, I just turned to a random page, I just turned to the Tempest. You'll see here, if I can get in focus, but my finger is the word reversed. That means that when that card comes up reversed, you have the reverse effect of that card. I'm going to walk back over here. So, when you do a tarot card reading on somebody, what I prefer to do is, okay, hang on, I gotta move this camera again. I said I don't have the equipment properly to do this the way I want to do it, and I don't want to have this thing go flying down. Okay, let's see if that works. That's better. Okay. So, now I actually got a pretty good view that I can see the whole altar, which is awesome. Okay, now, when you do a tarot card reading on somebody, most people, everyone I've had a tarot card reading from, and I like it greatly. I haven't seen her in about 20 years, but, I mean, not quite, maybe 10 years. But anyway, you know, great person, love her to death. So, okay. When you do tarot card reading on somebody, you could take your cards out of the silk they're in, where you prefer to keep my little cigar box, which is not a big deal, or with a personal preference. You're going to give the cards to the individual. Ask them to shuffle the cards. Ask all the questions you want, all the thoughts that you want to have come to fruition, that you want to be told of. So they're going to do all this. You know, some are going to do this. You know, some are going to tuck them in. You know, some are going to go and do this, you know, some do bridge, which I can't do, and I'm going to go and back to you. Now, 2 things. Some card readers prefer to do the whole cut afterwards. I prefer not to. How they give me the cards, that's why I take them. Okay? Secondly, when you're getting a tarot card reading from somebody, and you're doing the card reading, the psychic or the card reader per se. So manage your cards. Don't just do this and start reading cards. You know, when you take the cards from somebody, make a connection with that person. You know, grab underneath them, get the cards from them. Make that little connection, touch the finger, the index finger, the thumb, the wrist, something. Make a connection with them. That's how I was taught. So, okay. Now, keep that in mind. Alright, so those are tarot cards. Now, how do you learn tarot cards? Okay, well, again, I'm not quite sure where it's at. Ah, be right back, hold on. This is actually my wife's book, but this is the Weight Rider Tarot Deck book. Has all the decks in it, all the cards. I think this was made in 1984. Originally printed in 1910, so it might be out of print. If you can find one, by all means, it's a good thing. So, you can sit here and you can thumb through all these and read through them each, you know, although it does not have the, it does okay reversed. By all means, if you find a tarot deck that's got the book to it, it's a good resource. I'm not going to say that it's not. But, methods to use for your tarot cards. Go on your pillow, go under your bed, sleep with them, let the energy absorb. My hood keeps flopping over here. Let the energy absorb through you. Works really good. That's one way. Learning, you know. Take a couple minutes out of the day, look at the card. What does it mean to you? How do you perceive that card? Is another good method. So, okay. Oh, let me do this first. Also in my tarot box, I keep a clear quartz glass, I'm not sure what it is really, I think it's a piece of glass, crystal of some kind, in my hand during your tarot reading. It grounds me from the energy to the cards, to me, to the person, kind of thing. Okay, so keep that in mind. Just a preference is how I was taught. Okay, now, the pendulum. I mean, yeah, again, walk around here, this camera's not the greatest. Pendulum is usually it's a crystal. It can be anything, a ring, it can be something of great value to you that means something to you. It can be a ring, it can be anything really. Tie it onto about a, I don't know, 8 foot or 5 foot cord, whatever that, however many inches that is, whatever. Okay. Now, when it comes to pendulums, and same with Ouija boards, which we'll get into here shortly. Somewhere in my ritual desk, I have a yes/no board. It's easy to make a yes on top, no on both sides. What is the pendulum used for? Okay. A pendulum is used for map tracking. It's used for finding lost items. It's used for locating people sometimes. And so, how do you use a pendulum? Some people will bicker about, oh, you're moving it, you're doing it on your own, you're making it say yes or no, whatever. Okay, I'm going to show you something really simple. Okay, the whole key to a pendulum, and again, this is an extra long cord, because that's sometimes I do the whole map tracking thing on here. I'm just going to shorten it a little bit to show you. Okay, a pendulum is meant to be held like this. As some people do this, you saw people do this, you know, meant to be held index and thumb. So you take that, pendulum. Now it's going to want to swing naturally, okay? It's going to want to kind of, you can see it there in the back of the swing. So, grab your hand, stop from moving. Okay? Now, you have to stop moving. Okay? It'll still sway a little bit because of just natural. Now, when you want to do a pendulum, okay, you don't start doing one of these, you know, open your wrist kind of thing. You see my fingers moving and everything like that. You see it moving. I'm making it move at that point. When you want to use a pendulum for whatever you want to use it for, a yes/no question, forward and back is yes and no, left to right is, or sorry, forward and back is yes, left to right is no. So, I'm going to just show you, I wish my spirit board was, but my yes and no board, but I don't want, but anyway. I'm going to show you, let me see if I can actually find it, hold on. The good about live videos is you can do what you want. But I don't highly doubt I'm going to find it. I'm going to look really quick here. Let's see here. Who would you be? One more spot and I'll be right back. Actually, a few more spots here, but I don't think I have it in. It might be in a part of my altar, and I don't know. It's in my altar room here somewhere. I don't want to leave the camera together, but anyway. Okay, I don't have it with me. So, okay, whatever. It's my other shelf over there, but I'm not going to go over there and grab it. But anyway, okay. So, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll make this quick and simple. Just saw a marker in here. Of course, the wrong drawer. Let's see. I'm sure a piece of cardboard out here somewhere. Ah, perfect. Okay. I'm just going to do something real quick and I'm going to show you how to do this. Not to be perfect, it's just going to be basic. Alright, well, there we go. Okay. This is a basic, usually on wood and a really nice looking, but just for the video, is a basic pendulum board, basically. Okay? Yes and no. So, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try and show you. Basic questions, okay? And just for the video, I'm going to say that this way is yes and no, and forward is, well, this way is no and forward is yes. So, yeah. So, okay, you're going to grab your pendulum, make sure it's relatively stable. And we're going to say, again, I'll explain if it's this in a second. We're going to ask it, you know, did it rain in my state last night? And you see it's going forward for yes. And it did. It's not lying. No, that's something really stupid. Well, I wouldn't say stupid, but anyway. Hang on, let me get this up. Okay. I guess I'm really dumb. You know, does it ever did it rain blue last night? Did it rain blue rain last night? And you see it's going to the right and left for no. Okay, now let me break down the physics of this. The physics of a pendulum is the energy from your hand to the spirit board, or to the yes-no board, And what it does is it vibrates through the earth, through the atmosphere, through the 4 elements to answer your questions. And again, I'm going to move to show you. So again, if it's doing one of these, and I'm doing this at this point, it's a yes. And if it does one of these, it's a no. Now, you have one other thing that your pendulum might do. It might do, and again, I'm doing this, so, you know, we'll get that. It might do one of these. Okay, we call it the crazy spin. That means it's confused and what you want. You gotta focus better. Although, in map tracing or map finding people, this method, again, is good because it's tracking the energy of that person. But on the yes/no board, not quite a good thing. Okay, so pendulum works on the physics of energy and the questions that you ask it, or the process you're using it for, and it does work. Okay, now we're going to get into ruins. Okay, I'm just going to pull the first few out here. I'm not going to really in a lot of detail. Pull out 2. Witches' ruins are simply, I'm not sure what these are on, I can't remember, little symbols that, just like tarot cards, when thrown a certain way, they do certain patterns and such, and they come out to be a reading. This is the basic ruins table, which is not complete from the ruins that I have. There are not a lot of books on ruins or on Divination I know of, so it's kind of a learning experience on your own. I'm gonna up back over here. So, come back over here now. We only have a few more things to work with here. Okay. So, ruins are a little more complex. There's something you want to learn, really look into, and that's another story in itself. Now, ooh, we're getting scary, guys. The Ouija board. Okay. Gotta make jokes here. The Ouija board is kind of based on the same principle as any deck or process that you want to try and locate the dead, or I'm just gonna, most of you all seen this, the famous Note and Bradley Ouija board. Okay. Now, again, yes, no, alphabet, numbers, goodbye. This little handy dandy doohickey right here. Okay. See it all the time. Trying to do something. Look up at your friends. You're moving it. No, you are. No, you're moving it. People. Again. Focus. Okay. The proper format for a Ouija board is, let's just say, okay, I'm going to do something simple here. You want to press down. 2 fingers. Press down. Sometimes you don't use one because you got a bunch of people doing it, but I use it by myself most of the time, so. Okay. Now, when you use a Ouija board, some people have spirits they use, some people have certain deities they use, that's fine and dandy. You're going to lightly press down, and you're going to focus, okay, on the question. So I'm going to just ask it something simple. Let's get it again. Did it rain last night in Ohio? Now what I'm doing is I'm pushing down on the thing here. Of course, it's already moved to the yes, obviously. And I'm not touching it at all. It's energy. And it said yes. Okay, and you should move back to the center. You can do that physically. And again, we're going to ask it, did it rain blue in Ohio last night? Okay, and again, you're just going to lightly press it. It's going to move over. And my fingers are barely on this, so just keep that in mind. I'm not touching it. And it says no. Okay. Now, what you do is you press on the Ouija board on the hourglass here, and you focus, and it will answer the questions for you. You know, it will give you names, people, phone numbers, addresses to use it for. I have to express this very, very carefully. Okay. I'm just going to set this up so you can see it here. Let's use this little candle holder here just to show you what we're discussing. Okay. There are two games that people play at Ouija boards called black doors, white doors, red door, yellow door, or any other kind of door. Do not do this. Okay? Please, listen to me, guys. Do not do this. Those two games are kind of Charlie game. You know, they are with the red door, yellow door. You're seeing a man in a suit and all this other stuff, and you're going different realms, and you're basically time traveling, unprotected. And same with black doors, white doors. You're playing a game that you don't know where you may go or what door you might open. More importantly, what you might bring back with you. Okay? These games are geared towards astral travel and geared towards, you know, messing with spirits. Okay? It can be something as simple as a lost family member to God knows what. Okay? Don't play these games with a Ouija board. A Ouija board is not meant to use for games. Even though it's made Milton Bradley, they've made it for I don't know how many years now, 30 plus years probably. It's not a game. It's not something you decide, I'm going to be blunt. It's not something you decide to go and hang out with friends with, get them, hey, let's go fuck about the Ouija board. No, you don't do that. You will cause yourself more hell and more hassle than you would if you use this properly. So keep that in mind, you young practitioners out there who see somebody in like, you know, a movie, oh, I want to go play the Ouija, but it looks fun, let's go try some of that thing we saw in the TV show. Just don't. I'm telling you from personal experiences and learning in the craft who I am, not a good idea. Okay? Just don't do it. I know it seems fun, it seems interesting. Don't do it. It will cause you more grief, more hell, and potential danger than you could ever imagine. So keep that in mind. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this away really quick here. Okay, now we're going to get into these nifty little contraptions. For all those of you out there who are like, what the hell are these things? These are the world's famous Zener cards. Most of you probably know this deck from, let me just show you. We got 4 shapes, plus sign, square, circle, star, and wavy lines. Most of you probably know this deck from the famous movie Ghostbusters. Okay? Where Dr. Bateman was, you know, doing the whole thing with, you know, the two people And he kept zapping the one guy, and the other guy, oh, you're missing, you keep getting it, come on. Okay. These are our cards. I just have to pull out the star. Okay. These are a deck. And it doesn't really apply to divination, but I just brought them out to show you different aspects of how people do things. These are what they call telekinetic cards. Okay. People who might be telekinetic or have better or higher energy than most people, they're going to use these to test their telekinesis. So all you would really do, and I'm going to be seeing the cards here, so I'm not going to really, either way I shoot, I see the cards, so I'm not cheating in any way, I'm just going to show you how it's usually done. So again, you give them a shuffle. I think there's 30 of them altogether, I'm not sure. Yeah, 30 cards altogether, I think, roughly. I have to look exactly, but I think there's, I think it tells you in here somewhere. Bear with me a minute. Let's put it in the box. Hold on. I think there's 5 of each card. I believe there's 5 of each card. So, okay, what you do is you shuffle the cards. You know, mix them up. I'm not gonna mix them very good. I'm just gonna show you. And you two are facing each other, just like we are in this video now. I'm facing the camera, and the camera's facing you. So what you're going to do is, you're going to pick a card. You're going to hold that card this side facing the individual. Okay? And you're going to say, what is it? Okay, now I can do these fairly well with another person. You know. And I'm intentionally going to scope this time. I'm going to say, it's a star. You're going to go, ooh. No, it's a plus sign. So you're going to set that card over here. Then you're going to take the next card. I'm going to intentionally get this one right because I'm looking right at it, but normally I wouldn't be. What is it? And they're thinking about it, going to say, wavy lines. Good. Okay. You're going to set that card right there. You're going to keep doing this, putting cards, anything they get right in this pile, we'll have to get wrong in this pile. At the end of the cards diminished and everything's done, you count the number that they got right. That determines their telekinetic ability. So, just a little, you know, you usually get these at Azure Green. Before I want to say, I don't fund or, you know, get credit from anything I might mention in my videos. I don't get credit from Ray Buckland. I don't get credit from Gary Cantrell when I use their books. That's just what I was taught with. I don't get credit from any kind of company that I use or mention names in. I'm just using them as references so people can buy the materials they choose to. So you can buy these at Azure Green website, probably a couple of websites too, but you know, they're there. That's where they're at. That's where I got mine from. I don't have any sponsors yet. I wish I did have some here and there. It would be nice, but no, I don't have any sponsors. So, there's that. Now, we're going to get to the mystery box. You guys are going to love this. Really you are. You're going to look at it and go, what the hell is this thing? It's not a telekinetic device. It's a simple, basic way to test telekinesis. All you do, and this is going to be a little hard to do because I'm kind of in a real odd place with this camera, the way it's set up here, but you notice the box has a hole in it right there. Okay. And I can't what this thing is called. It's called a telekinetic enhancer. A highly sensitive device that will react to minute energy fields around the human body, can help develop your telekinetic abilities by giving you a visible interaction of your a physical interaction of your progress. Instructions are included. Okay, well, yeah. This is the instructions, how to do it, everything like that. Okay, so, I don't know what that's doing in there, but okay. So what you do with this, it's really hard to see because it's kind of, you get a pentagram, a needle with a colored top on it, and this funny looking tinfoil thingy. It's, I don't know, aluminum metal type thing. And what you do is, and use this tomorrow so I gotta straighten it out. You set the pentagram on the box, and you put the needle through it. I find the hole not always even. Oh wait, I'm doing this wrong. Hold on. You put this through here. Sure. Again, bear with me here. I'm going to cheat a little. We're going to slide this down. Okay, you put that through there. See a little yellow center. And you put this through the box as a base. And what you do, the box just kind of prevents the thing from falling down, is you place this little four-way triangle looking thing on top and kind of balance it. Like so. I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know if it'll fall. And what you do is, you take this little device, and you think of a direction. We're just going to, well, I'm going closer just because I don't want anything affecting it, but just close right up there because it was on it. I wasn't thinking. It's not moving right now. I don't know if you can clearly see this or not, but it's not moving. Okay, I'm going to spin it just so you can see it actually does work. And it just fell, of course, but that's kind of how it works. You have to, you basically, I'm going to have to adjust this a little bit so it stays on. I'm going to. This is the only problem with this device. It will constantly mess with you because it's not always even. So I'm going to spin it just ever so lightly. I don't want it to fall. The key is to get it on the needle and then situated, sort of. Alright, now I'm going to spin it up just to see what it does. It's supposed to spin. Mostly freely. It will fall. It will. If you mess with it, kind of physically manipulate it, it will fall. But what you do, I'll get on there. Just really mess with me for a second. I don't know why. Fairly straight. And it will spin somewhat decently. Okay, now, I've done this in a while, but I'm going to try it. You want to think of direction, left or right, whichever, doesn't matter. And you want to focus your energy and your brain onto that particular direction. We're just going to say, well, my right, so it's going to be spinning this way. So you sit there, and you look at it, and you keep making it, you know, you use your fingers, not to touch it, but to, you know, and you try and get it to move. And you can see, but it is kind of moving slowly to the right, slightly. But yeah, you get the idea. You manipulate it to move. So let's just start thinking about telekinesis, telekinetic activity, whichever you want to do. So that covers divination and tarot cards and that kind of thing. Some other forms of divination you might want to consider looking into would be they have sticks that they use. I can't remember what they're called. I think some shamans use them for different things. I'm going to come back over here so I can see people. And some voodoo practitioners, they have their own little, I think what they call those here. I'm not in that particular practice. They have those. Couple of little odds and ends things that people have. They use. There's also a method of I think something similar to beads of rice or something like that sort. I can't know what they call that either. You have I Ching. You have all different kinds of little. It all falls into divination. So again, that's the portion on divination and how to pretty much do it. Again, learn from, you know, whatever books you may find or resources you may find. You have really hard time trying to find stuff on ruins because it's just hard to find stuff on ruins. So, as usual, blessed be, and if you need any questions or comments, Church of Wolves Grove, WOLVES, at gmail.com. I try to check it at least once a week, but no guarantees. You can always call me at 216-904-2218, and I'll transfer any questions you may have. I'm going to step out of frame here and put stuff away.